So I just picked up one of the brand new Apple products. Let's unbox them. So these are the new Powerbeats Pro 2, and they're actually going to be very similar to the AirPods Pro. You're going to get things like the seamless pairing experience with iPhone, along with all the same noise canceling features of the AirPods Pro, but there are 5 big differences. First one obviously being these ear hooks. They're going to be way more secure on your ear. Second being a longer battery life, with the Beats having a total 45-hour battery life, with the AirPods only 30. Third, the Beats actually have physical button control as opposed to just the tapping and swiping on the AirPods. I personally really like this. Fourth, the Beats are going to be slightly more water resistant. Again, these are focused on activities, so sweating and whatever is fine. Lastly, by far the most exciting feature, which is this little piece here, which is a heart rate monitor. This is going to be huge for those who don't have an Apple Watch but like to do activities, or they're biking or running with their phone. You're now going to be able to monitor your heart rate right through your headphones. Let's try them on. First impression, they fit great, really easy to get on, and they have the same ear detection as the AirPods do. Listening to music for the first time, they sound really good, like dare I say, quite a bit better than the AirPods. Let me do a little side by side. Okay, yeah, the Beats are like quite a bit better, especially on the lower end. I'm assuming that's because the case is bigger, so there's more room for like the bass to resonate. I say these sound like noticeably better, so big win for the Beats. I'm gonna go for a run and test out the heart rate monitor on these things, so keep an eye out for that video, but so far a big fan of the Powerbeats Pro 2. So I've got a big problem, and I'm gonna see if I can fix it using just my 3D printer. Okay, so this is my suitcase, and then this is my backpack. This is my absolute dream traveling setup, except for one thing. Sometimes I wanna put my backpack on top of my suitcase like this so I can wheel it around. A lot of backpacks have a strap built in for this. Mine doesn't, so every time I try to do this, it falls. So with that, it was off to the office to take some measurements of the suitcase. With those measurements in my head, it was over to the computer, and on the computer I drew this rectangle. Around that rectangle I drew this crazy shape based on my measurements. I took that 2D drawing, dragged it up to make a 3D shape, made some final little tweaks, and it was done. So I sent it over to the 3D printing software and clicked print. Then after 20 minutes of printing, the part was done. Let me show you how I hope this thing is gonna work. So the first and only real step here to set this up is threading the handle through this little slot here. It is a very tight fit, but this piece is meant to stay on the backpack indefinitely, so once it's on there, it's on there. Now whenever you go to put your backpack on top of your suitcase, you don't want it to fall off. You have this little clip here that's perfectly dimensioned, so it just lightly clips on, but still has enough clamping force to hold there and not go anywhere. And then it's just as easy to clip off when you're done. Solving super niche problems like this is one of my favorite parts of 3D printing. Let me know how you would have solved this problem. If you like this type of content, I do a lot of it, so make sure to like, follow, all that, and I'll catch you in the next video. So we're getting a new Apple product on Wednesday. Here are my educated guesses on what I think it is, ranging from most likely to really just hoping and dreaming. The most realistic and likely thing it's going to be is a new iPhone SE. This hasn't been updated in years. This is basically just a cheaper version, but still current gen of the iPhone with some of the bells and whistles removed. I also think that the little camera ring here matches the little circle on the tweet. Maybe I'm overthinking that. Realistically, the major reason being Apple Intelligence. Currently, there's no real affordable phone on their lineup that can run this, and they're leaning into it very heavily for a lot of the new features. So I think it's prime time for them to release an updated, lower cost phone. A lot of people are speculating maybe a new AirTag. I think the circle logo on the announcement is one of the biggest reasons for this. Even though they work great as is, they are due for an update, and they're one of the more popular products, and they have been on sale a lot recently, so maybe that means something. There's been a lot of companies releasing Apple Find My compatible like credit cards and different form factors for AirTags, so maybe it'll be one of those. My last realistic guess, and this is one I haven't seen anybody say yet, but it's an updated MagSafe something. Again, this is me just using this circle as inspiration for what it might be. Maybe a protocol that supports faster charging, maybe an accessory, I don't know, something MagSafe. Now on to the wishful thinking guesses, maybe a new HomePod update. Maybe even one with a screen, which we've been waiting for in the smart home world for ages. Now, this guess isn't totally out to lunch because there's been recent developer code that's referenced something called Home OS, which might mean that Apple's working on an operating system for something like this that works with Home, so maybe. It could maybe be a smart ring, but really grasping at straws here, and it's really just because of the circle on the image that he tweeted. But actually, now that I think about it, with the Powerbeats Pro 2 with the built-in heart rate sensor, it wouldn't be totally insane for that to happen and those to launch alongside each other, so maybe? And lastly, my worst guess, but my most hopeful guess, the Apple Car. The wheels are round, the picture is round on the tweet. Maybe. Make sure you like and follow so you can figure out what it actually is when it drops, because you know I'm going to be covering it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.